Hello, welcome back. Tonight I will speak about Asmodeus, which is a book, a grimoire that I've written, and speaks about the character Asmodeus. Well, this recording is part of a playlist where I speak about Asmodeus. And of course, it's a very interesting thematic, very interesting character, very interesting grimoire that I've written as well. And of course, there's a lot of interest as well in the different parts of, talking about the book, gives something to the book as well, or to others who are interested in this subject of Asmodeus. In the same time, the book, as I say, carry a story. They say it is Asmodeus' story, or a part of that story, as well as characterization of the character, as well as the different, storylines, or what happens in the story as well, or how Asmodeus represents himself. And all this to say, my books are not manuals. My books are literally works, and they have specific poetic quality, hymn form, verses, type of text, where of course the story is told in a certain way. The part of Asmodeus that of course is intriguing is that part of that duplicity, or the element of the color, especially the deep violet or purple. It almost goes into the pink as well. It goes into some black or shadow. It's even the black too carries the element of the light and the shadow, so it is very magical color, the violet, and especially when it's very intense, it's very beautiful. It's almost it's clear as the light, but just with color. And that deep purple or violet, I would say changes color depending how much light inside as well, and it has this beautiful sparkle to it, the color violet. There's a specific beauty that comes to the violet, and there are not so many violet flowers. That's why the violet is very special, That speaks to what Asmodeus. Well, the violet is this color. This is the color of Asmodeus, as well as the element of the light, the shadow, and the dark. Now we have spoken about 4 different colors, or what those colors represent, as well as what those colors carry as meaning. You say, well, of course they do carry a meaning, So the color being so important in the thematic of Asmodeus, it comes always through. It says it does have a specific meaning. It is not a random thing that these are the colors of him, And of course each color represents something, but the color that is most Asmodeus is the violet or the purple. The other elements that have a lot of interest to say, well, Asmodeus has a very interesting way of communication, a very interesting way of being, as well as, of course, there are some contradictory elements to his personality. That does not mean, it is almost like a plus, So the different parts of Asmodeus that are somehow interesting, become even more interesting on those elements that somehow are different, or can be combined, or can be changed in some way or another. And this to say, well, it's not necessarily that I included in the book, in the grimoire. It is to say my work is always different, so one should not expect that everything I'm saying here will find in the book, because I'm speaking about different ideas as well, not only about the book, but the Grimoire of Asmodeus does carry a specific form that somehow I created through the verses, through the story line for him as well, and the different aspects that he represents, And the most representative color, of course, is the black that comes very much in the grimoire, the black of Asmodeus, and there are very beautiful metaphors that speaks about that elements of how Asmodeus represents himself in this way. So the aspect of Asmodeus, to say, is very beautiful, very present, And of course, he has different parts of personality, or different interesting aspects of his being the way he is, like in a characterization. He does carry a lot of, fine things, or fine jewelry, or fine was it craftsmanship or penmanship, or is the element too of writing as well? Was the hand with the, the beautiful writing tool, no, with the papers, that element too of the writing, or the intellect, or the thinking mind, or as well the wandering mind, no, the thinking mind. But say, well, Asmodeus, so it works in that silence, or works in those elements too of creating something, no? And this element of jewelry, as I've said, something very beautiful or precious stones. The element of color comes very much when it comes to Asmodeus. We have the royal blue. It's a very beautiful light type of blue, but still dark. And then we have the element of the white, and we have the element of the black, which, as I've said, represents the most interesting part of the grimoire. Well, say, well, why? No, so, well, one has to read this a little bit to say there's a specific representation of that, no, of how the black appears in many different ways, or in many different metaphors. And so it's almost to say, well, the storyline comes a little second to that, no? Because to say, well, Asmodeus takes first stage, or it is, most of the grimoire is very much present from beginning to end, the element of Asmodeus. It is, in the Grimoire of Asmodeus, almost say Asmodeus takes over the book, in the meaning that the character is more important than the storyline. Here, the storyline is a little secondary, no? And that too, of course, says us something about Asmodeus, no? So that those element of the flowers, or the element of the different petals, or the different feathers, or the different colors too, is very much Asmodeus, as well as the element of the like every object is like beautiful decorated, or very much even the element of silver, or as I've said, precious stones, or the element of jewelry, or say, well, talisman, or say, well, personal belongings, in the meaning that's a part of Asmodeus, as well as the element of color, or painted on his hands, the element of color. So, well, we have the red, the blue, and the yellow too, very much, and the element of white, as well as the element of the most predominant, as I said, blue and violet, as well, with the black and white. It's, it has some type of polarity to it as well. And at the same time, they're very complementary colors, the white and the blue, complementary too, as well as the black with the violet, the blue with the violet too. They are some type of harmonic colors, as well as at the same time, the monochrome too, the white and the black. So the element of the different violet flowers as well, and not to, or the element of the ink, as well, a specific ink, especially in that color too, is very much connected to the element of Asmodeus. Well, it comes to from the pen, it carries the ink for writing, there is a specific time or a specific thing or place, So, well, the element of writing on a piece of paper, and so we have the element of the ink, with the pen in the hand, is that beautiful writing or craftsmanship, or the beautiful penmanship that Asmodeus carries, So, the element of the a certain silence that he carries, is more, say, he does not speak, it's more the written word. It is very important, as well as to say that element of nature that comes through, which is to say a main aspect that we have talked in many recordings before. The grimoire, as I've said, represents Asmodeus and speaks, and say the story of Asmodeus as well, but the story is secondary to the character. And it moves a little bit different because of that. Now, it does change the book in a certain way. there are no chapters in my books. There are no chapters because I like to let the text flow, no, from beginning to end. That's why I say I always make sure that my books are easy read or pleasant read as well. No, I work the text in such a way that one can read undisturbed. No. And the Grimoire is around 200 pages, and as I said, tells the story of Asmodeus, or the representation of its character as well. As I've said, all my work is, my books is literally work, as well part of fantasy as well, no? As I say, well, I create a story, or I write a story, and I create a book. Now I publish the book as well. All my books are for selling, or how to say, in paper. And thank you so much for listening. I will continue another time. Until then, thank you so much. Bye.